Good afternoon. It is Thursday, October 30th. My name is Trent Parker with the National Weather Service in Missoula, Montana, and I've got your planning briefing for this Thursday. Here's what we can expect as we head towards this holiday weekend. Friday, a pretty nice day overall. A couple patches of morning fog, but otherwise some increasing high clouds and light winds. Temperatures getting up into the 40s and 50s for most of us, and then creeping back into the 40s and 30s as you head out for any late evening plans. So make sure you bundle up for that. Otherwise, on Saturday, we'll see both winds and chances for showers increasing. This is going to be a pretty mild storm, especially for the 1st of November. We're talking about snow levels above 7 to 8,000 feet for most of it. And on Sunday, those snow levels start to come down ever so gradually. We will start to see those wind speeds decreasing through the early afternoon hours and just a couple of lingering shower chances. But just want to keep you on your toes here. We do have a low chance for some ice or snow to lurk on some mountain passes Sunday night into Monday morning, especially some of those higher summits. Here's what the satellite looks like this morning as we've got those high clouds passing through the area. You can see these stationary low clouds or fog here in many of those valley locations. It's been pretty stubborn to burn off, but we expect that to happen either this afternoon or through the day tomorrow as we get more winds and more cloud cover increasing, kind of mixing that fog out. Here's what the satellite looks like infrared, those deeper, colder cloud tops coming into the Pacific Northwest. That'll eventually move overhead later tonight and into early tomorrow morning. So maybe not as cold as we're portraying here on this temperature forecast, but we will likely see many valley locations at or below freezing for your Friday morning. Temperatures overall pretty nice on Friday, very much seasonable in the 40s and 50s, and then we start to get very mild on Saturday with those south winds increasing. In fact, we're going for a high temperature about 62, 63 degrees here in Missoula for your Saturday afternoon. And then those temperatures gradually cool off Sunday and then especially into Monday morning. And that's where we could see maybe some higher pass impacts, very minor at that, those snow levels dropping to about 5,000 feet. Overall, winds relatively calm through the next day and a half, but then they start to ramp up out of the south and west Saturday afternoon through the day Sunday. And in fact, it could be very windy at some of those mountain pass locations up on the Continental Divide, and especially on the east slope. And then they eventually relax by, like I said, early Sunday afternoon. That's when we'll start to see those wind speeds calming down. Probability of precipitation through the next several days, highest as we head towards Saturday evening and very early Sunday morning. Overall, not an impressively wet storm. As you head towards the west, we could maybe see a quarter to a half an inch of precipitation out of this. Like I said, mostly falling as rain below 7,000 feet. And then we stay active through much of next week as well. In fact, the latter half of next week looks pretty stormy. So we'll keep that in mind here going through the next several days. Here's probability for at least a quarter of an inch of precipitation, either by rain or snow. In fact, this is mostly going to be rain, like I said. About 1 in 3 chance from the US 93 corridor all the way up towards the Canadian border, and then better chances as you head towards the west, some of those windward slopes, seeing the highest totals out of this storm. Another secondary peak up towards Glacier National Park and portions of the Bob Marshall Wilderness. And then as far as snowfall totals go, not impressive. I mean, we could see maybe a trace to an inch places like Morais Pass, Lookout Pass, Lola Pass, and then I know it's not portrayed here, but Lost Trail Pass could see some slick conditions Sunday night through Monday morning as well, while those temperatures drop. The 6 to 10 day outlook features a storm track that kind of looks like this, where we've got a ridge over place across much of the west. So that means the coast itself will be pretty wet, but will stay pretty mild. And just a reminder that the color shading does not represent how much warmer or wetter than normal that we're expecting these conditions to be. In reality, a darker red here means that there's higher confidence in warmer than normal conditions, but that could either be a couple of degrees above normal or it could be tens of degrees above normal. And I think for this specific scenario, we're only talking about a couple of degrees warmer than normal. So generally mild, but overall, we're going to be staying pretty seasonable here in the Intermountain West. Thank you for watching. Our next scheduled briefing will be on Sunday, November 2nd. And just remember, Saturday night and the Sunday, we do turn those clocks back 1 hour. Thanks for watching.